What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Xtra Points. Getting down to the end here, the nitty-gritty.
March Madness.
March Madness.
Not a lot of madness in our area, though.
No, it's quieted down to just a couple of straggling teams here.
Yep.
We've got the girls' state championships this weekend up in Green Bay. Nobody from inside our area technically there, but be interesting to see. A Monroe team just down the road go and play Beaver Dam in a state semi. Middleton, which we saw plenty of this year, make it to state with a pretty senior-laden group.
Yep.
And, Edgewood, I think, an interesting team, having seen them play against Craig, against Whitewater. And I would think all three of those teams with a shot to win it all. I think Monroe have the toughest road. But
yeah, I think Monroe's got the toughest road because you're talking to people, especially on Saturday at the sectional final game between Monroe and Milton, was that Beaver Dam might be the best team in any division.
Right.
I think they're 25-0 or something like that, and really haven't had a lot of close games. But again, a lot of that's who you're playing during the year. So, the Cheese Breakers with Sidney Hilliards, who's one of the better sophomores. It's interesting for me is that I got a chance to see two of the best sophomores in the state a couple of times this year in Sidney Hilliard and Julia Hartwig. And, Hilliard gets to cap off a year at the Rush Center in Green Bay, and a tough task for them with Beaver Dam. But, you beat Whitewater, another team that people gave a chance to win a state title. So I think for Monroe, that might be your state championship game right there, Beaver Dam and Monroe. And then I think when you look at Middleton, I've said all year, when you get them on a bigger court, which they'll have at the Rush Center, be a collegiate court, with the way Jeff Kind brings those girls in and out, it's an advantage, especially in the second half. And I know you got a chance to see him just run east off the court. And, if you're not used to that style and that press and that constant substitution where if you're on the other team, you just don't get a rest, it makes a difference.
for sure, we'll see if they can pull off something like that. It was a little stunning to see them run away from East as much as they did, considering they had just played a pretty good close game. But
right.
Middleton makes it there. Around here, though, kind of all eyes in our coverage area left on Beloit Turner boys. They're reached sectional play. They'll play Lake Mills on Thursday at Fort Atkinson, and the winner will play in a sectional final Saturday night. Actually, they moved it at 7 p.m. at was Wanakee, is it?
Mm-hmm.
And you got a chance to see Turner a couple times, and most recently they beat Evansville in the regional final Saturday night. And it's kind of been the staple all year. Alec Fruin, Nacio Villarreal,
the dynamic duo.
What did you think?
Well, I'll tell you right now, and take it with a grain of salt. But for anybody out there watching, and there's probably not a lot of college recruiters out there watching, but somebody give Alec Fruin a chance to play. That kid he's good. He's good enough to play at UW Milwaukee. The Panthers, you just talked about it. They're heading to the a chance to go to the big dance. But Alec Fruin is good enough to play at the next level, and I hope somebody high D2 or low D1 gives him a chance because he can play. Just does everything well, plays above the rim a little bit. He's got some good hops and shoots the ball really well. And like you said, with Nacio by his side hitting threes, Alec kind of took over the first half. Nacio came in and really lit him up from downtown in the second half, and that was a difference. And, it's like Ken Watkins will tell you, he said, teams know what they're going to get with us, but it's a matter of stopping it. And really, no one's had much luck stopping those two.
Well, and the thing I think gets to me, they've won 16 games in a row.
Yep.
And if you look back, they've won games in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s.
Yep.
And that's pretty crazy for a high school team to be able to do that. You get a team, usually you get really good teams that have their own distinct style. They like to play at a certain pace.
Right.
And if they don't dictate it, then maybe things fall apart a little bit. This team has found ways to, no matter what teams have kind of thrown at them and no matter what scores and tempo they've wanted to play at, they've found ways to win, and I think that's pretty incredible.
I agree. And the one thing to keep in mind heading into Thursday night's sectional semifinal game at Fort Atkinson is, yes, they played Lake Mills. Lake Mills beat them by 10 at Lake Mills. But now you're talking a neutral court, and Ken was quick to point out after that game that he said Turner probably missed 6 or 7 layups against Lake Mills. And he said that made a big difference. He said, we missed some bunnies that we had no business missing. And he said, you take those 10 points and it's a tie game and things are different. And I really like the way Turner's playing right now because, like you said, with the lead, they're going to space it out. They're very content to sit at half court, pass the ball around, look for backdoor cuts, and if all else fails, just get the ball in the hands of Alec and let him do his thing, because he can go to the basket with the best of them. And if Nacio's left open, he'll shoot. And, Melkow, the good football player, he's a big body in there. And if he stays out of foul trouble, he's good on the boards. It's a team that really knows. I think they know their roles. That's the thing. Ethan Burns knows his job's not to score.
Defense.
His job is to play defense, scrap, hustle, get on the floor for loose balls, and he does that very well. But they know in crunch time that Alec and Nacio got him there, and that's what's going to get them, if they can win 2 more games, that's what's going to get them to state.
Should be interesting to watch. You said they lost to Lake Mills. That was at Lake Mills' holiday tournament, I think, a couple of days after Christmas. Then they lost to Lakeside Lutheran the very next day, and they haven't lost since then.
No.
In 2017, they haven't lost. So we'll see if they can keep that run going. Had a chance to get down to Beloit and talk to Alec Fruin a little bit about the matchup earlier this week.
I think it's going to be a whole new matchup. I mean, we played them over Christmas break, and we haven't lost since then. So we're feeling pretty good. We got good game plans coming in, had great practices, making a great run in the playoffs, so we feel real good about coming in. I mean, we know we need to grind it out. We know come playoff time, it's going to be lower scoring games. First time we played against Troy, we were in the 90s. Then we played on Friday, and it was 49-48. So we know it's a grind it out style in the playoffs, and we're okay with that. The most special thing was Saturday when that final buzzer went off and we were able to put that regional plaque up. That was the most special time. And right now we're just building off it. We're not just happy to be here. We expect to win.
So that's that for Turner. We'll see if they can keep it going, see if they're playing Saturday night. Other games around here with some interest on the D1. We have 3 of the 3 Big 8 teams left. We'll have a game Thursday night. East versus Muskego at Janesville Craig at 7 p.m. And then we've got Memorial playing Middleton at Sun Prairie on Thursday as well, with the winners playing on Saturday. Always interesting to see who comes out of that. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking Madison Memorial, the same old.
I was going to say, why are things any different this year than they've been the last 15 years? But I think any 4 of those teams are capable of coming out of there. I think the surprise is that East knocking off Sun Prairie and not only beating them, but beating them pretty handily on their home court. But, maybe that's a case where East, that was their one shining moment, so to speak, and they may come down to earth. I don't know much about Muskego, but obviously they've been good for the last few years. But certainly that Middleton Memorial game, you got Middleton that wants to run up and down and keep the score in the 80s or 90s, and you've got Memorial that's very content with just playing half court, getting the ball to Chris Knight,
and 40s,
and let the Big 8's Player of the Year kind of do his thing. So I just hope for our sake, just because of the season that Craig had and the careers that those 4 kids had that were seniors, that we get a Big 8 team into the state tournament. You and I, neither one of us like the 4-team format. I don't like it. I think most people would prefer to see 8 teams in Division I, and no offense to the Division 5 teams, but I think when they made that move and made it from 8 to 4, that it just kind of took some of the luster off of the state tournament, and it's too bad, because really those games, coming up this weekend could really be sectional final games, and you'd have maybe 2 teams from the Big 8, which would be cool. But again, I hope somebody from the Big 8, one of those 3 teams, advances and represents that conference at state.
Winding down here, folks. We'll probably be back maybe, I don't know, next week or in the next couple of weeks.
We'll see what Turner does this week.
We'll see what they do.
Yeah.
We got all area teams coming out here the next couple of weeks too, so have some patience, and I guess we'll see you when we see you.
That's right.
You get the NCAA brackets next week too.
We do.
So.
Wisconsin.
Madness is officially
right.
here. So
get it done.
Bucky, right?
It's Bucky.
Are you on the wagon still?
I'm on the wagon, yeah. I haven't jumped off yet. I had 1 foot dragging, but I picked it back up the second half last week, so I'm better.
Good. I hope we keep it that way.
Yes.
We'll see everybody in the next week or so.
Take care, everybody.